This is our party. It is going to be Freya Anx, the soldier, using primarily stuff like swords. Jormungandr, using spears or polearms in general. Most likely spears, because you can also use a shield with a spear, as well as bows. And then Baldrax, kind of a paladin more than just a cleric, so also using melee weapons. And then Sigrunax here is going to be just basic mage. Unfortunately, she cannot wear armor because it interferes with her spellcasting. But we're going to go ahead and get things started here in just a moment. I want to do one last look through the chat here before I begin, and then we can get this going. Let's see, have I played Tactical Ops? No, I have not played Tactical Ops, unfortunately. When did I start streaming? This particular stream, about 45 minutes ago, roughly, although some of that was leading up to when it actually went live. As far as in general, though, technically a couple of years ago, I just didn't do it very often, because I don't generally have the time for it. Streaming could help make my famous larger. It might. We'll see. If I can do it more often, then maybe. Do I tend to perceive or think about storytelling in high-quality RPGs in terms of allegory to ancient myths or otherwise hidden truths? It depends. It just depends on the individual game. Because sometimes they lean more into that than others. And yeah, the Nethergate review is kind of old, so it's quite a few years old at this point, so I should probably redux it eventually. Let's see. What made me want to start a YouTube channel? I just kind of did it. But we're going to go ahead and start here. Legends tell that Avernum is the gateway to the underworld from which the dead never return. Avernum is also a real place. It is many miles of caves and tunnels, far below the world's surface. The Empire rules the surface totally. When they discovered Avernum, they had the perfect use for it. A prison. Everyone who didn't fit in, the rebels, the antisocial, the disliked, they were teleported to Avernum forever. The Avernites were not inactive. They built subterranean cities. They learned to fight. They studied magic. They built their strength. And, when they were ready, they got their revenge. The Archmage Erica made her own teleporter. Emperor Hawthorne ruled the Empire. He was brilliant, and ruthless, and despised. What? Oh dear. How? Yes? It's time to deal with Avernum. Yes, Gazard. Avernum struck down the Emperor. 4 years later, the Empire invaded. So this is taking you, just FYI, this is taking you through the events of Avernum 1 and 2. Just so you have the background as to what you need to know. Avernum was outgunned and outnumbered. The Empire War was thought lost, until Avernum found an ally. The alien Vanatai joined you, and turned the tide. The Empire was expelled. Avernum won the Empire War. 5 years passed. Nothing was heard from the Empire. The Avernites decided it was time to return to the surface. They built a teleporter and formed Upper Avernum, a new series of caves just below the surface. They then selected someone to explore the surface for the first time. You, or us, I should say. Our testing was extensive. And very painful. My briefing was considerable. This is a tree. What's it for? And confusing. We were sent up to Fort Emergence in Upper Avernum. We're to go see someone named Anaximander to get our orders and then go up to the surface. All Avernum waits on us. All wait to see what we'll find. They want to return to the surface. We carry the dreams of our people. Good luck. Whoop. It froze on me. Oh no! It froze on me. Okay, now we're good. Actually, let me go ahead and save real quick here. Give me just a moment. Just to be safe. Just in case something goes wrong here. Now, just so you're aware, I haven't really had much of an issue with this game crashing or anything. So, we'll just name that. Alright, cool. So, I haven't really had any major issues with this thing crashing. That was a weird anomaly there. Not sure what happened. The game just froze up. It didn't actually crash, per se. So, it seems to be a problem with the opening cutscene. So, what you might want to do, if you play this yourself, is make your party just click immediately through the cutscene so that you get into this area here. Then save your game. Then go back and just create a burner party to just go through the opening cutscene if you want to go through the opening cutscene. Alright, so let me check up on the chat here. So let's see here. Why do I add an ax suffix to my character names? That is a long-standing meme on the channel. That goes back to the... I want to say the original Elder Scrolls Arena review, but I'd have to double-check. I just started naming my character Thorax, Thor-Axe, and then when I would make other characters that weren't necessarily the same type of character, like say they were a mage or say they were a female character or something like that, obviously I wouldn't really name them Thorax, so I would name them other things, and that would end up Astridax, Sigranax, Dagnaax, things like that. So it's just kind of a long-standing channel meme. Also, yes, adding axe to the name adds extra strength, too. So, why do so many games have armor affecting magic? Because D&D used to do it way back when. Not even way back when. Back in the 3.5 edition and earlier days, you had a spell casting failure chance if you wore any kind of armor as an arcane spellcaster. It did not apply to divine spellcasters, so clerics, paladins, that sort of thing. It didn't apply to them, but it did apply to arcane spellcasters like mages or wizards, as they became known, or sorcerers. Do I think college is a requirement these days or ever has been? Depends on what you're trying to do. That's such a variable question depending on the field you're trying to go into. Love the voice acting in this game, yep. Yeah, you need to expose yourself to use med. Yeah, so... For those of you who never played D&D back in the day, D&D 1st edition, 2nd edition, etc., mages used to be incredibly squishy. They were the very definition of glass cannons. In AD&D in particular, when you made a level 1 wizard, you got one spell. It was a level 1 spell. You did not have any cantrips. You just had your level 1 spell. And then you rolled for hit points. And you rolled 1d4 for hit points. So, one 4-sided die for your hit points. If you rolled a 1 on your 4-sided die for hit points, congratulations, you have 1 hit point. Not great. Also, fun fact, back in those days, you rolled for your stats, which is something that I still have my players do if I run games that allowed me to do that. But back then, you rolled all of your stats in order, and it was not 4d6 drop low like it is these days. It was 3d6 in order. So, if you rolled 3 for your strength. Congratulations, you had 3. It was just awful. Now, granted, if you rolled a character that had really awful stats, if your DM was actually any good, then they would take pity on you and let you reroll. But anyway. So you used to have a roster of half-elven fighter magic users in a notebook ready. Yeah, that was another fun thing about old-school D&D is that you... back in the day, when you played, say, an elf, they were just... That was their class. They were elf. And they were a fighter mixed with a mage. It was a whole thing. Let's see here. So we have javelins. I'm going to give those to my soldier here. We have boots. Since my soldier is going to be tanking things, I'm going to go ahead and give that. And then we have a note here from an Anaximander. I'm going to give the candle to Sigranax so that we can use it for lighting up areas later. So here's the note. And it is not appearing. That's annoying. Yeah, that's very annoying. Okay. So just since it's not showing you the note here, let me just read you what it is. It says, "This is a simple map of the northern half of Fort Emergence. On the back it says, pick up your supplies and come see me as soon as you can, Anaximander." And then it just shows a small map of Fort Emergence. Now, I've been through this area so many times, I know it like the back of my hand, basically, so. Let's see here. Give you that, and give you that. Give you that, give you that. Alright. So, let's see here. University is great if you want to waste 5 years of your life. It depends on what you're doing. Most degrees in the U.S. are supposed to be 4-year degrees. Let's see. Okay, so again, the pop-ups aren't coming up for some baffling reason. I don't know why it does this. You step out of your quarters and into one of the many cavernous halls of Fort Emergence. The corridors are eerily quiet. Only a small fraction of the troops that will be stationed here have arrived yet. It's time to go and get your orders. So, I could also use the arrow keys to move around. I'm not going to. I'm just going to use the mouse interface. And let's see. We find some empty quarters. We can leave one of our characters here for a while if we want to travel with a smaller party. We don't need to do that. There are some copper coins in here. They are not ours. So, since these are not ours, if somebody sees us stealing it, there might be a problem, but it's just 6 coins. It's not a big deal. Now, this door is locked. So when you come up to a locked door, you have 3 options, or, well, yeah, 3 options technically. So you can either have a character with the tool use skill, pick the lock, or you can have your strongest character try to bash the door down, or if you have a high enough level mage, you can get an unlock spell that will allow you to unlock the door. We're just going to have our good old Jormungandr here pick the lock for us. And there's an energy potion in here where you're going to take that and give that to our mage. We're just going to leave the basic clothing in there because we already have basic clothing. Let's go over to SCA. Going to college to become an engineer sounds like hell. Yeah. Yeah, it kind of is. Look, Rochester, if it makes you feel better, when I had to learn calculus for what I was doing, I failed the course like 3 or 4 times. I still don't know calculus. So there's nothing in here yet. We keep going along in here. So this is this thing marked by an A here is a cat. If you try to talk to it, it says the beast looks up at you mutely. You match gazes with it, trying to achieve some sort of common ground. In the end, you feel personally enriched, but you learn nothing. Let's see, how old is this game? It released in 2002. It is a remake of a game from the 90s, however. So, this is the training hall. if we had levels, then we could train here. We do not have levels, at least not yet. We're just going to wander around the fortress here for a bit. So we wandered in this area. We're at the west end of the main Fort Emergence Laboratory. Here, specimens from the surface world are brought to be carefully examined. Avernites have forgotten much about the flora and fauna of the surface, and it all needs to be relearned. In addition, alchemical herbs are being grown in long stone pots at the east end of the chamber. They are then made into potions to be given to soldiers stationed here to aid them in case of an Empire attack. And then we can talk to this person here. This is Mazumdar. This woman is quite young, probably in her mid-20s, but she radiates power well beyond her years. She levels a piercing gaze at us. I am Mazumdar, head mage of Fort Emergence. She's carrying a pot in her hands containing an actual surface flower. Can we pet the cat? Unfortunately, we cannot pet the cat. Can we roll to eat the door? I mean, you could in Dungeons & Dragons. You can't in this, though. Alright, so what do you do exactly? I coordinate all magical activities that take place in Fort Emergence. Why is that important? Coordination is very important. If two mages attempt conflicting spells simultaneously, she draws her finger across her throat in a slitting sort of motion. What sorts of magical activities go on here? This fort will eventually be used for experimentation, training, and launching magical spells against our foes. However, the Triad keeps us from being nearly as powerful as we could be. What is the Triad, and why are they interfering? The Triad consists of the three greatest mages of Avernum. They are in charge of all things magical. Unfortunately, they tend to not want to let power out of their control. For that reason, our resources are nowhere near what they could be. She grins, with exceptions. Exceptions such as? We're supposed to be training mages here, yet the Triad won't let us have the books to teach spells from. She grins mischievously. However, we've managed to sneak a few things past them. We need those tomes, after all. That sounds interesting. We may maybe read some of your tomes? She thinks, then slowly shakes her head. I'm sorry, but it's too much of a risk to say more. If certain things were known, it would cause us great trouble. That is all for now. This room is magically kept hot and humid and is filled with a refreshing plant smell. To the north is a wide variety of flora, neatly organized and ready for careful study by the fort mages. When you step on the rune, a misty cloud of liquid shoots out of a hole in the ceiling. It envelops you and makes your skin sting and your eyes water. Then it dissipates. This must be some sort of magical cleaner to be used in case of lab accidents. I'm sure those of you who've worked in chemistry labs understand the joys of those chemical showers. Let's see here. Finite math, game theory, yeah, uses linear algebra. Yeah, I had to do linear algebra as well. The best gaming snack. Ooh, oh, that's a tough one, because that one depends on what I'm in the mood for. So, most often my gaming snacks are stuff like pretzels or maybe popcorn. Sometimes I will have, it depends on what I'm in the mood for, like I said, but sometimes I'll also have like mixed nuts, so cashews, peanuts, that sort of thing. It just depends. Whatever, the best options are the stuff that isn't going to coat your hands in kind of a powder or oil or whatever, so that sort of thing. Few things can be as fun as a tabletop session with a really imaginative DM and some pizza. Hell yeah, buddy. Alright, so there's a message on the screen here. The corridor here is blocked by some sort of magical wall. It's as thin as a wall and seems to be just as insubstantial. However, you know very well how misleading appearances can be when dealing with magical matters. You touch the barrier lightly. It throws your hand back with daunting force. Your wrist is slightly sprained. You back away quickly before something worse happens. So this fortress is kind of your tutorial area, but not quite, in the sense that as you wander around, you kind of learn the general idea of how things work. You don't learn combat in here, though. That's something you have to learn somewhere else. So this says, this chamber is thick with the raw stink of animal feed and fresh dung. There are cells ringing the room, several of which hold strange creatures from the surface world. They must be here for study. So, that is a chicken. That is a sheep. That is a wolf. Where'd that person go? There was a person in here. Ah, there you are. So that's Ava. Let's see. She curtsied to us. What sort of work are you doing? Let's see. She's here to research the flora and fauna of the surface world. Spies brought some samples back. So let's see here. What is this flora? You know, plants. What is that round white furry thing in the north cell? The surface people call it a sheep. It's a very stupid surface meat creature. Do you know anything about bears or wolves? Surface carnivores. They'll take a bite out of you if they get the chance. Have you done any research on wolves? They're occasionally vicious, furry creatures, slightly smaller and less dangerous than giant lizards. Beware wargs, though. A warg is a type of wolf bred for huge size, ill temper, and a dim, malevolent intelligence. What have you learned of bears? They are large and potentially dangerous, although usually they would be more than happy to just leave you alone. You should, however, beware the Ursagi. The Ursagi are a sort of intelligent mutant bear. They're very evil. We captured one and almost picked the lock of its cell with its claw. It would have been a horrible mess had it escaped. So, you wish this dev would open source his engine? Hey, take it up with Jeff Vogel. Ask him about it. Does it open a new window when the game message appears? No, not quite. It's still in the game, but it's because of the type of screen capture I have to use for this, it doesn't pop up on the screen for you for some baffling reason. So another one came up here. The southern courtyard of Fort Emergence is crowded with large carts and the giant lizards who pull them. Massive piles of supplies ship in and out of this fort. All the settlements of Upper Avernum are still works in progress. Fortunately, you don't have to worry about assault from these giant lizards. Though the creatures are innately fierce and stupid, the merchants who own them constantly dull their teeth and claws. And they hiss at us. So, you can see guards wandering around. Evildoers will be punished. So down here, you see, well, you can't see, unfortunately. It says auxiliary supply room. So this is a small small side storeroom here. Yeah, can't talk today. You find a note on the door. Please reserve items inside for secondary surface exploration team. You would guess this means you. So yeah, this is our starter gear. So we give our warrior the heaviest armor and the best shield and the best sword. We give Jormungandr here the bow. We're gonna go ahead and give him a helmet as well. Give her a helmet. Give him the studded armor. Give him. Actually, no. I'll give. Let's see here. We'll give her the big shield and him the small one. And then we have an iron dagger. I am going to give that to... I'm going to give that to Baldurax, I think. Because there's a better chance he'll be in melee combat. And we have some torches. Can you pet the Ursagi? You cannot pet anything in this game, as far as I'm aware. And then let's see here. There's this guy. He's a captain of the Avernum army. Very thin, somewhat hyper, and undeniably friendly. He's Co. Captain Co. Oh, just Co. Greetings. You're an officer. Any useful quests? He's not authorized to hire adventurers. We do need to talk to Commander Johnson. So, let's see. So, right now, I'm going to go get my orders from Anaximander here. Just FYI, whenever you hear that dung noise, that's a message being closed. Alright, so now we're going to get our orders here. So we pass through the door and enter a large, dimly lit office. It's filled with stacks of papers, maps, plans, scraps covered with notes, and the like. It also contains many plates and mugs, all in need of washing. In addition to all the other clutter, we find a small, ratty man whose clothes and hair are in extreme disarray. He twitches constantly with nervous energy. When we enter, he leaps up and rushes over to greet us. Greetings, my friends! I'm so glad you're finally here. I am Anaximander. As Commander Johnson commands the military half of the fort, I run the somewhat more covert operations. He speaks very quickly. I will be the person you report to for further instructions during your explorations of the surface world. When you do something, come to me. When you don't do something, come to me. When you're just plain confused, come to me. He returns to his seat and sorts through papers, looking for something. He can't find it. Damn, I had a map to a nearby goblin outpost. There's a bandit lair too in the caves. We thought you might want to go there to learn to work as a team and pick up some loot before exploring the surface. There's a map to there around here somewhere. Search a bit. Then, when you're warmed up and ready to explore the surface, come back here. I'll have more instructions. Remember, go to Upper Avernum, leave Fort Emergence to the south. To go to the surface, leave to the north. He nods, flashes you a worried grin, and goes back to his notes. Don't forget, the sooner you go out to the surface and see what's going on, the better. All Avernum waits to see whether it is safe to emerge or not. He points to 2 maps on the table. Take those, they're of the nearby areas. So, as you can see down here in our notes here, something was added to our journal, a quest has been completed, and one has been added to our list. So, we have a quest here to go up to the surface. Straightforward. And then we have our journal here, which you can't see, unfortunately, because it's one of those windows that pops up. And it's just a journal of our travels, so it says Day 1, arrived at Fort Emergence, and then the note that was added to our journal is we saw an Anaximander and we're told to go out to the surface. Now then, we have maps. We have a map of the Krazan province and a map of Upper Avernum. If we use them, which you still can't see it, this is annoying. So we have a map of Upper Avernum, and we have a map of the Krazan province. And then this is a bandit map. And it's a simple map that seems to indicate 2 hostile encampments in Upper Avernum near Fort Emergence. So if we go over here, this is the quartermaster. He's Levy. What are your responsibilities? May I have my allowance? You've been budgeted 25 coins per diem. Here's your allowance for today. Don't spend it all in one temple. You obtain equipment. Can I trade with you? Okay. So we're just going to sell our junk here real quick. Stuff that's just not useful to us at all. Because it's some extra weight we do not need. Now, the Orb of Thralny will come in later. We're not going to be able to do anything with that just yet. Oh my, it's Keep on the Borderlands. In a way, it kind of is, yeah. You got to remember that Jeff Vogel is a very old-school guy when it comes to RPGs. So, yeah, there's a lot of old-school D&D influence in his games. Where the hell is the commander? I cannot remember where he is. Commander, where are you? Because I want to talk to the commander and get a quest to go clobber those bandits. Here we go. Yep, Commander Johnson, a gaunt, severe man. His armor bears the insignia of a commander. He has a regal bearing and cruel eyes. He looks at us with detached interest. I am Commander Johnson. You are the secondary service crew, yes? What do you want? Any quests you're looking to get done, we could use some experience. Well, there is something so negligible I don't want to waste my people's time on it. There's a bandit lair in Upper Avernum near this fort. Kill the bandit leader and I may give you some sort of modest reward. How can I find the bandits? Well, you could bother to actually look. Yeah, the commander of the fort's kind of an asshole. But we now have a quest to go take down the bandit leader. So we'll go do that. And to do that, we have to go out this way. Welcome to Avernum. It is a cave system. So let's see. The road near Fort Emergence is patrolled by a band of Avernite soldiers. They don't seem very alert. They don't need to be. If a serious attack ever comes, it won't be from this direction. When they see you, they march towards you. It looks like they want to talk to you. We have the options of running away quickly or approaching and talking to them. We'll go ahead and talk to them. Greetings, you're the next surface exploration crew, aren't you? They seem to have heard of you, and they're excited to meet you. We must be celebrities. Just so you know, if you're heading north, you should watch out for goblins and bandits. There's been some trouble up there. Keep your eyes open. Yep. That's exactly where we're going, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. So when you get to this bridge here, it tells you that there's a large stone bridge. Soon an army will cross here in hopes of carving out an area for the Avernites on the surface. To the north, we see a huge open cavern, dotted with recently built towns and settlements, popular with Avernites recently teleported from far below. To the west is the Portal Keep, where everyone up here, including us, arrived from the Tower of Magi. That's a band of alert soldiers. They say there's some bandit activity to the north. Portal Keep, 80 miles west. Geekra, 50 miles north. Beware of goblins. Okay. We're going to leave the pool alone for now. All right. So, let's see. Isn't that cool with Minecraft? I mean, I don't really mess around with Minecraft enough to mess around with that, so sorry. Let's see. What is the best life advice I have? I don't really have any life advice. So let's see here. We have encountered bandits. It doesn't tell you that on screen because the thing is not popping up on the screen. This is really annoying. I'll have to remember to fix this for later recording. But the bandit leader is saying, well, now, if it isn't adventurers, and not any old adventurers either, but the heroic surface explorers, well, since you're so mighty, you can surely spare 10 coins to help out a few lowly travelers, yes? We're not going to negotiate with bandits. Because bandits are, they're no fun. So, welcome to combat. It is turn-based. So, to attack an enemy with melee, you just walk into them. To use missile weapons, like bows or thrown weapons, you press that button and then select a target. So, this is our priest spellcaster. He has a bunch of options here. So, healing, curing, that sort of thing. We're going to use War Blessing, and we're going to use it on Jormungandr because he's a bit squishier. And then we have Sigrun here, who is going to cast Haste on Freya. And Freya is going to apparently miss every swing. Awesome. So let's see. The willows, by the way, also provide good woodcutting experience. Somebody runescapes. Yeah. Now, on the positive side with these bandits, they're very weak. Also, I have multi-target spells, which are always fun. Oh, that's not good. That's very much not good. Better go ahead and heal Freya there. So, on the positive side with this game, when a character hits 0 HP, they are not dead yet. They are on death's door. If they take another point of damage at all, they die. So... Alright, and then we can just, we're just going to, okay, he can't carry anymore. None of this equipment is actually any good. We're just going to pick up this stuff so we can sell it, because we are low-level adventurers, and needless to say... Small silver coins, yay. Small pouch of silver coins, I mean. So we defeated bandits. We're going to go back and we're going to go ahead and sell that loot that we just got because carrying it around is kind of a pain because it's really heavy. So let me go ahead and take care of that here, and while I'm doing that, I will go ahead and... Alright, so let's see here. Stone short sword. Poor leather armor. Cavewood bow. Regular leather armor. We're actually going to hang on to that one because that is an upgrade. And we're going to go ahead and give that to Balder Axe here. Alright, let me just quickly check chat here. Bring on the not-so-random encounters. Yet, random encounters aren't really a thing in this game, actually. I mean, there are roving random bands of... Or not really random, but there are roving bands of enemies that you can run into. But they're not random encounters like you would see in a JRPG, for example. Like that, for example. They just kind of came out of nowhere, but, I mean... They're not that big of a deal, actually. Yeah, goblins are obviously very, very weak. Especially to a warrior who can, you know, clobber them for a massive amount of damage. But hey, that gives us an iron dagger, which is better than the stone dagger that she was previously carrying, so there's that. And then we can replace this poor leather helmet with a regular leather helmet. So that's good. I'm going to go ahead and go back and sell that stuff too. Did I mention why I'm starting with Avernum 3 and not the first? No, I did not, actually. Simply put, it is the one that I have the most experience with. It is my favorite game in the series. And it's the one I'm most comfortable with. Also, it's the most refined out of all three of them, so... Or all the main ones, anyway, I should say. The Avernum 4 doesn't play very well. Avernum 4 is actually the start of a whole new trilogy, effectively. And there's also Blades of Avernum, which is just kind of somewhere in the middle there. Oh, we have goblins and thugs. Okay. That's interesting. And let's see here. Now, unfortunately, because we're low level here, we don't really have a whole lot of options for spells yet. We will have them eventually, however. I really need to get my my guy there a spear. Alright, let's see here. That's a silver ring. We can just sell it. Wooden buckler. Yeah, none of those items are particularly good, so we're just going to go back and sell them. I hate to be going back and forth to town here. Let's see. You need to go, unfortunately, because it's getting late. Thanks for joining us there. And hopefully you'll be able to tune in next time as well. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Okay. Now let's see if we can actually make some progress here. So what I'm going to be doing here, I'm going to go and find the... There's a couple things we can do here. We can either go to the bandit camp or the goblin camp. Goblins are down this way. And the bandits are up here. So let's see here. Sound effects. Remind you of Elder Scrolls Arena and Daggerfall. I can kind of see that. Yeah, Avernum was made in 2000. So was I believe the second Avernum was actually released in 2000 as well, if I remember correctly. And I'm playing the original version, yeah. I'm playing the original version of Avernum 3 because the remake of it... Well, reminder here. Avernum 3 is a remake of Exile 3. So, it's not quite the original, but it's the original Avernum 3. And then the Avernum 3 remake, it's just nowhere near as good, honestly. But yeah. Yeah, I think we're probably going to go to the bandit camp for... Well, it's actually a better idea if we go to the goblins first, because they're weaker, so we can take them out a lot more easily. You create a different party. Yeah, there's no save import feature. It's a different party of adventurers every time. And it's like that in the actual storylines, too. We're missing an awful lot of attacks. But thankfully, so are they. Okay, the bell ringing noise there signifies that somebody leveled up, and in this particular case, it is, of course, Freya Axe. And that is an iron dagger. That is good. We'll be able to do something with that, hopefully. At the very least, it'll replace what Jormungandr Axe is using. I'm going to go ahead and save. And I'm actually going to wander around just a bit so I can recharge our spell points. So let's see. You say almost all remakes are worse than the originals. This is a remake that's better than the original. Exile 3 is actually kind of hard to go back to. The Exile series in general is kind of hard to go back to. And even though they reduced the party size down from 6 characters to 4, it actually doesn't end up being a problem. It's way more manageable, actually. So, now we're going to go into the Goblin Tunnels here. Thoughts on Mortal Kombat 11 and Mortal Kombat 1. Hate how they're calling... Yeah, the name is stupid, but... Ah, finally, we have a spear. It's not as good as our dagger, though. That's annoying. We do have an unidentified dagger. We're going to go ahead and pick up that bronze longsword, too. We can at least sell it. Now, here's a fun thing you can do in the Avernum series. The lead character in the party, right there, can attack things. And Jormungandr and Baldur Axe just leveled up. And there's Sigrun Axe. Alright. Now, these goblins are so weak that we can just have the lead character clobber them. So they're basically free experience points. A steel dagger. Oh, there we go. Give that to Baldur Axe. Let's see here. Iron dagger, iron dagger. So something that's not really brought up in this particular game compared to the older ones is that metal is actually very rare in Avernum. So good quality equipment is quite hard to come by. Alright, iron longsword. Alright, we're going to go ahead and give that to you, I believe. 3 to 9 plus 1 per 1. Iron short sword to you. You can just pick that iron dagger up. You can have that wooden small shield, it's slightly better. That has lockpicks, those are always good. Let's see here. Nothing all that useful. Okay, these are good to have. These are herbs. We use those to make potions. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and engage combat. Because there's a whole group of them in here, and we want to make sure that we get them all. We're going to use Smite just for the hell of it. Why not? That's the basic priest attack spell. Alright, that takes care of that. We have a scroll of Bolt of Fire here. We have an Iron Dagger that can sell. We have a Fur that can sell. We have food. That's good for resting. Whenever you rest in this game, you consume food. Got a Curing Potion. Mushroom Merlot 91. We can sell that. Whenever you hear the jingling noise, that means that we picked up coins. And it just tells us how many of those we picked up. We picked them up automatically. Cave Rat. The auto map down here. Make it a bit easier to navigate, although it's not too hard to get lost. Or it's not easy to get lost in here, really. Poor leather armor doesn't do us any good. Now, I am actually going to engage combat here because the lizards are actually kind of, well, they can be nasty. And there's a corpse here. It says, you find the pitiful remains of what was once a human being. You see on her shoulder a scrap of what looks like a uniform of the army of Avernum. It's too unpleasant to look any closer than that. Unfortunately, nothing on the body. I'll just go ahead and open that. So mung rats are actually very dangerous. You don't get that impression when there's only one of them, but they can inflict status effects on you. It gets very nasty. Let's see here. We had torches, right? Yep. Okay. And then this has a sign. It says, "Don't go in here, bad bugs." And of course, it's horribly misspelled, by the way. So what we're going to do, we're going to go up and we're going to clobber them. So that is Kytrak larva. Kytraks are very, very dangerous large insects that you only find in Avernum. Let's see, stone dagger, nothing particularly useful. And that's considerably worse than Kytraks. Those are giant spiders. Thankfully, they are blocked by the stalagmites there. Let's see here. Mushrooms, that's food. I'll just pick that up. We probably won't need a whole lot of food items in this thing, but it's good to have them. Let's see, who else needs a leather, regular leather helmet? You do. Okay, let's see here. I can't remember, does that cover it? That almost covers it. There's one bit here we haven't explored yet. And I've done... messed myself up here. Okay. And we got herbs there to pick up. Meat. And mushrooms. Alright, let's see here. Metallurgy. Never know when or where I really want to discuss that in depth, but as far as I'm concerned, it isn't discussed often enough. No, it is not, is it? It is a complex and fascinating subject. We remember. It's spelled R-E-M-E-M-B-U-R. Akbug, Argov, Mokdur, Griga, Korbakel, gloved Porgal from Brigadv Kozric. Let's see, bronze longsword, we can sell that. Wooden small shield, we can have that. Okay. And Freya Axe leveled up. Like I said, this is basically free experience points. Diseases are a thing in this series. Yes, they are. So is poison. You can also be petrified. You can be effectively disintegrated. It's barrels of fun. This room has the best construction of anything you've seen in the Goblin Lair so far, which, granted, isn't saying much. It actually has a cut stone floor. There's a polished stone altar at the north end of the room. So, I am targeting that guy first because he's a shaman. And, or he's a chief, actually, but whatever, he's a shaman, too. With a final blow, the chief of the goblins falls and dies. He makes an unpleasant gagging noise. This tribe will now cause much less trouble for the people of Upper Avernum. Also, there are a couple of skeletons there. I'm not that worried about them. And you'll see why here in a moment. And let's see, that's Sigurd next. So, remember how we have a priest, or a cleric, I should say? Repel Spirit. It just annihilates them. Does massive damage against undead. Alright, and you can take that, and that, and that. That's a stone dagger, that's not very useful. Now I'm going to go ahead and save real quick. You stand before the crude altar, covered with rough, grim drawings and horrible messages in the goblin tongue. Strangely, despite the unpleasantness, you feel a very strange urge to kneel before it. So, do we kneel in front of the altar, or do we leave? Do we leave before the obviously evil, cursed altar? What's up, DW? Cool to catch you streaming. Is this a one-off stream, or do you plan on having future streams? I do plan on having future streams. I'm just not sure exactly what kind of schedule I'll have. Is player character necromancy a thing in this series? What do you mean? Like, you can, if I remember correctly, you can have them brought back to life, if that's what you mean. I believe there's a resurrection spell. Neil, what could possibly go wrong? Well, I did save the game, so... You know what? Screw it. Let's do it. Not sure why you're doing it. You utter a brief prayer to the goblin's dark god. Nothing happens this time. We do it again, just for the hell of it. Why not? Nothing happens. Yep, nothing's happening. Yep, we're just gonna load the save because it doesn't do anything. We do, however, get a gold ring from that. And a stone dagger plus. Which is... So in this particular case, you can't see the information dialogue for this weapon, unfortunately. It says, stone dagger plus the ability is a plus 5% less chance to be hit. Not that useful to us, unfortunately, because it does such pathetic damage. So. The furs in this goblin lair are less rotten, the air less fetid, the scraps of food mildly fresher. The higher status goblins must receive the privilege of living here. Well, not for long, they don't. Oh, no. That's a Nephilim warrior. That hurt. That hurt quite a bit. However, doesn't exactly do all that well against fireballs. Let's see. We'll go ahead and give a War Blessing to Freya Axe there. Just for the hell of it. Let's see. A Steel Small Shield. You will go ahead and equip that. That's a very nice bit of equipment for this early in the game. And there's a healing potion there. Let's see. Anything else? Nope. And then this leads us over here. There is an herb that we can pick up there. And we can get in this boat. And we can get this herb. We can go through here like so. Row the boat under the bridge. We can do that. Go ahead and give that to Jormungandr. Alright, now we have some trouble here. Giant spiders can be really, really nasty. So I'm going to go ahead and give Freya Axe a War Blessing there. And let's see, we're going to go ahead and give her haste as well. Let's see, go ahead and give that to Jormungandr as well. Why not? No, we can't count. We don't have a target there. We'll go ahead and haste up Jormungandr too. Why not? Now, obviously, you don't want to get into the webs, but if you use the look command on them, you can clear them away. So now we've found a way around to that area that we were just in. Let's go ahead and give that War Blessing again. And go ahead and give the haste again. Oop, I didn't want to do that. We did want to do that, however. And we found a necklace. And we found some chainmail and another healing potion. Very nice. Some very decent loot for this area. Just clobber that bat there. And now we have explored pretty much this entire area. There's one last bit over here to wander around in. Just to link everything up. And then that leads us down here. Let's see, stone dagger, leather armor. So we have found the goblin kennel. Which is not their kennel much longer. After we clear them out. You know, sometimes you just feel like an exterminator. Just, I heard you got a pest problem. Okay, that is a warg. We do not want to be messing around too much with that. Yeah, that's bad, that's bad. Yeah, wargs can hit really hard, so. One of the walls at the end of this corridor looks peculiar. It has 4 long, straight cracks in it in the shape of a rectangle. Hey, what do you know? What is this? The stone box is small and it contains only one thing, a small, beautifully carved crystal figurine. It depicts a Vanatai female, or at least you think it's a female. The craftsmanship of the statue is amazing. The small figure almost looks alive. We'll take that. That seems important. Let's get another torch going here. I can also cast a light spell, but I don't want to waste the spell points at the moment. There is, you can see this crack in the wall here. If we had the Move Mountains spell, we could actually knock that wall down and continue on through there. Stone arrows, we'll go ahead and give those to Jormungandr axe and have him equip them because they are useful ammunition and we don't want to be wasting our steel arrows until we have a reliable supply of them. Oh look, it's bandits! Though not for long. However, I think we're just going to have to hold off on some of the spell casting here for a moment. There we go. That was a little awkward. Alright. We can pick that lock. And then, let's see, anything useful in here? Nope. No, there is not. However, there is free experience points. By the way, I'm just checking to make sure there aren't any false walls there. So, another fun thing about the Goblin camp and the Bandit camp, they're connected, so you can just go to one or the other whenever you feel like. Oh, that's not good. Why are you doing that to us? Let's go ahead and just summon a shade. Why not? Launch fireballs at people. Oh, that's not good. My two main fighters are asleep. He can't cast any spells right now, which is not good. See, does he have any? No, he doesn't have any scrolls. Okay. You do, however, have scrolls. They will wake up eventually. Might as well use the other scrolls. Like that. They finally woke up. Yay. So the bandits are actually considerably more dangerous than the goblins, of course. Will the goblins respawn at some point? No, they don't respawn. I really need to get my Jormungandr axe a proper spear. Ow! That was mean. Let's see. That's just a stone spear. That's not good. Alright, let's see here. Iron studded armor. That is better than the poor studded armor you're wearing. First aid kit is useful. Stone arrows. Leather armor is fine. We can sell that if need be. What I really need to do is get my party back to the overworld here. We can go back at the bandit camp the same way we just came in, if we need to. Getting turned around here. Sometimes that happens. Alright, go back up here. Now we're just going to go out to the surface area. And we're just going to have a quick rest. Or not the surface area, the cavern lair. Because that'll restore all of our stats. And then we just go right back in. Let's see here. That was just mean. Alright, where's the lighting material? There we go. Torch. Torch works. That works just fine. Oh, there's a goblin there. Must have missed him earlier. Stone dagger. Okay. Alright, we are now back in the bandit lair. And I'm going to go ahead and engage combat here. There is a large cave wood wheel. Since I'm busy in combat, I don't have time to turn it. Yeah, I know. And we're just going to give you a war blessing real quick, and we're going to go ahead and give you a haste as well. Because multiple attacks per round is great. Alright, let's see here. Any loot goblins? I mean, these bandits are just piles of loot waiting to happen. Alright, stone arrows. We want you to have those. Iron short sword, that is useful. Cave wood bow, that is not useful. Bread, we can have that. Pick the lock. Now, it is important to have multiple lock picks because, as you can see down here, your pick can break sometimes. Always good to search containers just in case there's anything useful in them. Bread is fine. Dried meat is good. And then there is some fine meal, which nobody can carry. That's a bit of an issue. The herbs you can carry, though. And one nice thing here as well is that after we clear this area out, we can just come back and explore it to our heart's content. Wait, was that a regular robe? Yeah, it's just a regular robe. Okay. And then you can have the candle. Like most settlements in Avernum, this bandit lair has a small shrine. The temple is small and dark. The altar itself is non-magical and slightly dusty. And these bandits are about to have a really bad day. All right, cleared that out. Good. And then got some herbs, some boots. We'll go ahead and have you equip those. You can just drop those because they won't. And then we'll go ahead and have you equip the boots. Let's see. You can have another healing potion. I should probably divvy those up, actually. Wait. Just plain old wooden bucklers. Okay. Pick the lock. Okay, that leads out to the cavern area. Let's see. So we'll probably have to make multiple trips back and forth to get rid of all the loot. Alright. And now we can enter the fortress from the rear and go clobber the living crap out of these bandits. Okay. This is a book. Let's see, iron-studded armor. You know, we'll come back for that, I think. Where is that? Where did that book go? Okay. Okay, so it's a book. It is a book titled The Tearing of the Bodice. You can probably imagine what that's about. In the intro. Let's see here. Cave wood bow doesn't really do us any good. However, the arrows are nice, except we can't carry them. Let's see. Gonna drop the stone dagger. We don't need that. Now that's just rude. Let's see here. Stone arrows, you can get that. More stone arrows. Let's see if there's anything useful in there. There's some money in there. That's good. Hey, it may only be 7 coins, but every bit helps. And we have a cloak that can block a bit of damage. Nobody can carry it, apparently. Let's see here. What can I drop? You know what? You can drop the leather armor. Put that cloak on. It's a very, very slight bonus to your defensive capabilities. This chest has loot painted on the top in large, crude letters. You open it eagerly, but if you find only dust, maybe the bandits are dirt poor, or perhaps they move their ill-gotten gains elsewhere. Okay. We can just move along in here. There should be a few more bandits around. Yep. That's what I thought. And then there should be a... I'm pretty sure there's a secret area in here somewhere. Yep, we turn the wheel there. It opens the gate to the north, and that leads down here. Guard rats. Interesting. Yeah. We have not taken down the bandit leader yet. Yeah, we have not taken down the bandit leader yet. There is still... We are still missing them. I'm trying to remember exactly where they're located. And it appears we are running low on light. Let me just turn on a candle here. Disarm the trap. Bar of iron. Iron is quite valuable in Avernum. You can't carry that. You know, honestly, I don't really know why I always pick up first aid. Or first aid kits, because I actually never use that skill. Just never do. Not entirely sure why I don't. I just don't. Where the hell is this guy? There you are. Now, where is the... You know what? We'll have to come back to find that bandit leader. The brigands guarding this passage are alarmed to find that we've snuck up behind them. They panic and attack immediately. Alright, let's see here. Just summon a shade to make things move a little quicker. Alright, let me just check the chat here real quick. Reading the intro of the manuals, get the vague impression that's projected of Jeff versus the AAA industry. Yeah. Yeah, the company's a husband-wife team. It's really charming. Your dead wife loved Daggerfall and hated Morrowind. I'm sorry to hear about her being dead. MS is a hell of a thing. Old Gamma World GM joke. The hoop turns your power armor into gimp suit and you suffocate. Oh, man. Transmogrification is always fun. You know, there's iron-studded armor back there at the camp. We can come back and get that. And besides, we need to go train anyway. So you'll get to see the level-up mechanic here at work after I sell all this junk. Alright, so let's see. We can sell this stone dagger. It doesn't really get us much, but it's something. Sell the fur, we can sell the mushroom merlot. Analyze. Okay, we need to identify this chainmail. It is crafted chainmail, and this necklace is a nature lore charm. And this dagger is a cursed dagger. Good thing we got that identified. Okay, we can sell that. Now, let's see what we got here. Crafted chainmail. So, let's see. It prevents 1 to 18 damage, and it gives you +1 to dexterity. I think that's actually a good thing, good fit for a Jormungandr axe here. What are you having a hard time carrying? Iron short sword, iron dagger, iron short sword. Might as well equip that. Sell the fur. Sell that. Sell that. There we go. Now he can equip it. Go ahead and equip that helmet too. I can't remember if these... Yeah, these are good for mages to equip. They can equip those just fine. But you can see when you look over this, for example... Well, you can't see it, actually. Dang it. But in the description of an armor, any kind of armor, if it has any kind of attack penalty, then that means that it will interfere with spellcasting. So even armor like leather armor will interfere with spellcasting. Alright, let's see here. We can sell the cursed dagger. It doesn't do us any good. And now we can go back to the dungeon, to the bandit camp, and continue our looting spree. Only this time we can go in the front door because we've already cleared the place out. Bolts of cloth. We can sell those, but I don't really feel like carrying them around. Let's see. Just cast a light spell. That'll be fine. Let's see what's down here. Alright, so we got iron-studded armor. You can just carry that. And then we can give you some of these arrows here, because arrows are quite nice. We definitely want those. And then might as well equip those iron javelins. They are better than stone javelins in every way. We want to make sure that our archer has plenty of arrows. Trying to remember where stuff is here. And the pick broke again. Alright. So let's see. What up, D Dunn and the gang? I think you mean D-Dub. Do I have any particular game which I really enjoyed playing an evil character or party aside from Dungeon Keeper? Not really. I mean, Dungeon Keeper is the big one. Keeper RL is kind of in the same vein, where you just get to be a cartoonishly evil villain, and it's just silly and ridiculous. With some effort, we managed to slay the apparent leader of the bandits. He won't be waylaying innocents anymore. Yeah, that wasn't so much an effort as I just walked up to him and whacked him once upside the head, and that was enough. Alright, let's see what we got here. We got a cloak. Can equip that. We got a shield ring. That's good. Alright, these shelves contain several books on animal training and a plethora of notes regarding the bandits' training of a large number of wolves. From the records, you're able to tell how the bandits found wolves in the first place. There was a small pack of them hiding in the caves when the Avernites started to build Fort Emergence. The bandits spirited some of them away to raise themselves. How the bandits got into Fort Emergence in the first place, you aren't able to figure out. Let's see if there's anything else on these shelves here. Probably not. Nope. Okay. Okay, our skill is too low on that, so we need to go back and get some training. Yep, we need to go back and get some training to be able to unlock those. That is okay, because we have the money to do that now. But yeah, as far as just games in general where you get to be evil, there is a tabletop RPG called Wicked Ones, which is basically like Dungeon Keeper, but in tabletop RPG form. I've been wanting to mess around with that for a while, but just haven't gotten around to it yet. Oh, there's Commander Johnson. We killed the bandit leader. Let's see here. He gave us... What did he give us? He gave us 100 coins for slaying the bandit leader. Hey, it's better than nothing. Okay, shield ring. 10% protection from melee damage. We're going to give that to our mage. Oh, and we can go sell this armor. Because she can't carry much. I actually do not need that map, and I do not need that map. And I'm going to go ahead and sell those javelins too, because we don't really use them. +1 to nature lore. Sure, we'll have you equip that for the time being. Alright, let's go get some training in. Okay, we can't go in there. I forgot that's the Orbathralny. The Orbathralny you're not able to get until you have completed at least 2 major quests, which we haven't gotten anywhere near those yet. Okay, so now we can train up our party here. We have 24 skill points to work with, and everything also has a coin cost associated with it, which is pretty typical for these older school kind of RPGs. If you play the likes of Gothic or Risen or something along those lines, you see it in those. And if you go back and play much older school RPGs like Might and Magic, the earlier ones especially, well, no, not all, the earlier ones, all of them, actually, then you have to pay to level up in nearly all of those as well. I know you don't have to in Might and Magic 10, but in the all the ones prior to 9, you definitely do. I have not played 9 yet, so I couldn't tell you if you have to pay to level up in that one either. But let's see here for Freya Axe. For Freya Axe, it's pretty simple and straightforward. Just gonna put a point into strength. We're gonna put a point into endurance. We're gonna put a point into melee weapons. A couple of points into melee weapons, actually. And we'll go ahead and put a point into defense. And then for Jormungandr, we'll go ahead and... Let's see. We'll go ahead and just put a couple things here into dexterity, and then we'll just keep pumping up the tool use skill. Actually, no, we'll go ahead and bump up the tool use skill as much as we can there, and then we'll go ahead and put another point into bows. And then for Balder Axe, we'll go ahead and put 1 into intelligence, 1 into priest, 2 into priest spells, and then 1 into potion making. And then we'll hold on to those 2 skill points. And then for Sigrun Axe, we'll go ahead and put a couple points into that, a point into mage spells, and that's it. We'll be good on that. So let's see, we can't unlock the bandits' loot area until we have at least 13 tool use skill. Alright, let's see here. You missed the skill book system of paying for trainers, especially in Gothic. Yep. Yeah, it has its charm. I mean, I don't mind either way. It's, you know, it is what it is. But, it has its own specific charm to it, and let's see here. And sometimes it all pays off. Alright, let's see here. Well, we'll go back and we'll see if we can open that now. I don't think we can, though. There should be a few other things we can do down here, though. We can obviously go over to the portal town if we want, but there's nothing to do there right now. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and save just in case we break a lockpick here. Oh, no, we can open it now. Awesome. Alright, so among the crude works of well-thumbed fiction on these shelves, you find one of the mage's journals written in a neat hand. The bandits have only been set up here for a few months. It seems they planned to raid the nearby settlements as boldly as possible until Avernum brought more troops here and then escaped to the surface. One interesting note, the journal makes occasional oblique references to a big theft of some sort of statuette from the Weirdies. The Weirdies referring to the Vanatai, who are, in fact, very weird. They are very much alien creatures. They are difficult to understand. And we get a cloak. We'll go ahead and just change up the cloaks here. Give you that. Not that it matters much. Disarm the trap. Disarm the trap. And now we're poisoned, which is annoying. And we got some coins. I'm not that worried about the poison because it goes out of our systems very quickly. And this is the loot area. So we get a nice fur, a couple of bars of iron, a wand of bolts, which is very useful, a scroll of ice lances, which is very useful, and an iron longsword, which I'm going to go ahead and... I can't give it to him. Why can't I give it to you? Oh, because you're weighed down by all kinds of things. Let's see here. Let's see here. We're going to split that up to 33. And the other 30 we'll give to Sigurnax for the time being. So that he can have an iron longsword. I need to get him a proper pole arm. But, we haven't come across a good pole arm yet. Or not even a decent one, just a... We haven't come across any decent pole arms yet. But now we're going to wander around the cave just a bit. We do have that statuette we can return. Geekra, 10 miles west. So I'm going to go ahead and save it again here. And now we're going to enter Geekra, which is a Vanatai town. This bizarre, bulbous building is clearly of Vanatai construction. The stone looks not so much cut or shaped as grown. The walls are round, smooth bubbles of rock. Eerie, silent passages lead inside. You reach the entry hall of Geekra. Geekra is not so much a town as a diplomatic settlement, where your Vanatai allies keep in touch with the people of Avernum. It is strangely silent. There are no guards. There must be a different sort of protection. The entry hall is decorated in the Vanatai style. There are statues and pools arranged in a way that seems random to you, but which must have a great aesthetic value to them. Angular passages lead off into the shadows. Welcome to Geekra. We give respect for respect. We meet a tall, dignified Vanatai. His skin has the dry, dusty sheen that is a sign of an aging Vanatai. I am Takora Tel of Avit. The Tel after his name means he is a leader or mayor of some sort. Why are you here in Geekra? I am a leader and a teacher. I come from our city of Avit with my pupil, searching for one of our number. Who are you searching for?
One of our mages, Bon Irno, disappeared. He was a hero among us, the first to befriend you humans, and to bring Avernum people into our lands. He said he was going on a journey and has not been seen for months. It is a worrying mystery. Why might he have disappeared? We do not know. We think he might have found out the Empire was doing something dangerous, but we're not sure. That does sound worrying. Should you ever meet him, return here to me. I wish to know much. Okay, can you teach us some magic? I can teach the magic uses of a stone called a soul crystal. If you don't have one, though, I can't teach you. Perhaps someone here can help you get one. No Vanatai settlement is complete without a crystal workshop. Chambers like this one are where the delicate crystals of the underworld are formed into jewelry, magical aids, and tools. The Vanatai passionately value crystals and can work incredibly powerful magic with them. Over the last few years, humans have tried to learn their techniques, but they haven't had much luck. So now we are talking to Koriba, who is shaping crystals. I shape crystals. They are having many uses. Like most Vanatai, his grasp of your tongue is very poor. May I have a look at your work? What sort of usage? Artisticness. Okay, so this is the stolen statue. I believe we found your crystal statue. Again, humans correct the wrongs of humans. And so in reward, we now have a soul crystal. So now you can teach us Capture Soul and Simulacrum. Which I don't think she can cast yet. Yeah, I need to have a mage spell skill of 9. But Capture Soul allows us to store a copy of the target crystal into the soul crystal. We can then make copies of this creature with the spell Simulacrum. The more powerful the target, the lower the chances of success. The more powerful the creature, the shorter the duration of the Simulacrum. At higher levels, the creature stays longer. By the way, spells all have a level of 1 to 3 of increasing effectiveness. So with things like Ice Lances, it will upgrade the amount of targets as well as the amount of damage it can do. Here. That raises NPC. The Vanatai, yeah, they are NPCs only. And they are only NPCs in the entire Avernum series. Definitely going to install this later. Yeah, I don't know how it runs on Linux. I would imagine there's not that much call for it, though. Avernum 3 is great. Played the demo on Mac like 20 years ago. Yep. It is quite good. Alright. Unfortunately, it's still not popping up the text boxes, but I'll just read them anyway. As you approach the chamber to the west, every hair on your body stands up. It's a magical laboratory cluttered with apparatus and fully engaged in research. Everything here is charged with energy. In the depression in the center of the room, you see a huge pentagram. Above the center of the pattern, the air warps and shimmers like above a fire. And those are all very much not ours. You only managed to open this case a crack before sparks fly from the handles and sear your hands. In the moment it was opened, you saw small crystals and intricate, unrecognizable tools. Okay. It's probably best not to mess with the Vanatai because they are, they're kind of terrifying. They are incredibly powerful mages. And they are, very dangerous. So, don't mess with them. You suddenly stop moving. There's no visible magical barrier here, and you don't feel any sort of heat or cold or static electricity. Your muscles simply refuse to move you down the corridor any further. Yeah, we've basically done everything we can at Geekra for the time being. We have a Soul Crystal, and we have the Capture Soul and Simulacrum spells, which are... They're not as useful as I'd really like them to be, but they do have their uses. Now, that said, we can't cast them right now, because we simply do not have the spell casting ability yet.
And then we can just wait. Go back and forth a bit to replenish our health here. I'm going to go ahead and save it just in case, because I know there's nasty, nasty things down in this part of the cavern here. Those giant lizards can be really, really nasty, because they can attack 3 times in a round. But we also need to worry about Kytrax, because they are somewhere around in here. But I'm not exactly sure where. Go ahead and defend, give you a war blessing, and go ahead and haste you as well. We really, really need to get Jormungandr X here an actual spear. There we go. And you can pick that up, that's fine. We can just give that to Jormungandr Axe. Okay, who leveled up? It was Freya Axe. Awesome. A group of overgrown fungi sit by a pond munching on the remains of some sort of animal. The plant things feed happily, unconcerned by your presence. We're going to leave those alone because those things are kind of terrifying. Let's see. I've been shocked to have far less problems with New Vegas on Linux than ever in Windows. That is just, that's baffling. Alright, War Blessing. And haste. Alright, now that's Jormungandr Axe leveling up. That means we can bump up a couple of things for him. We also want to give him a War Blessing, and we want to give him a haste. See, now that he has an actual sword, he can do a pretty decent amount of damage. But he will do quite a bit better with spears. So I really need to get him a spear or a pike or something like that. Tower of Erica. If you don't know that you're welcome, you're not. Proceed at own risk. Let's see, the skulls and totems lining the path have a clear message. The territory to the north is not controlled by humans. The creatures ahead will probably not take kindly to intrusion, so we're going to save just in case. We don't get far into the cavern before we see a group of large, crude ogre huts to the north. As soon as the ogres who live there see you, some flee to the north and the rest charge after you. They bear stone clubs and fierce, stupid expressions. Ogres can be really nasty. Because when they hit, they do a lot of damage. The thing is, it's a matter of whether they hit or not. So let's see here. Oh, there's the unlock door spell. What am I going to do? I am going to haste Freya Axe. Now, luckily, Freya Axe can take them down in a single hit at this point. However, it is concerning to have that many dudes coming after our party all at once. Give Jormungandr Axe a blessing there and a haste. He is so much more useful now that he has... Ugh. Ew, that's... We're also still at the point where we can cast a single healing spell and it will heal pretty much the entirety of our party members' hit points. And we do not have any kind of mass healing spell, which is very unfortunate. And then we'll just go ahead and blast him and then whack him upside the head. All right, let's see what we got here. We got javelins, which are useless to us. We got great swords, and we got an iron large shield. Sure, you can equip that. Well, yeah, that's good enough. But bronze great swords, those don't really do a whole lot for us right now. I mean, I guess we could sell them. In fact, I think that's what we're going to do. Well, we can only carry so many of them. They're apparently 20 pounds, which is quite impressive. The guards slain, you search the hovels along the path. Strangely, there is no treasure of any sort. The huts have been cleaned of anything of value, even metal. You wonder where they took it. The fleeing ogres must have taken it with them. Alright, we're going to go back to... apparently we're going to get attacked by sliths. That could be really, really bad. Ow! That was a lot of damage. And yeah. We're gonna die. Yeah, sliths are very, very, very dangerous. And we don't really have a whole lot we can do against them right now, because we don't have good multi-target spells. And they hit like a truck. Let's see here. Ice lances. Alright. And that's my second warrior dead. So yeah, I'm gonna end the combat, and then I'm gonna load the save because that was brutal. We're gonna go around. Thank you very much. That's ogres. I can deal with ogres. It's getting late here, so going to bed. Good to hear from us. Hope to catch the next stream. Yeah. I will of course schedule it, and I'll have some advance notice there. So keep an eye out for that. Let's see here. Bronze and RPGs. Balancing realism will make them heavy, high damage, but fragile. I mean, bronze holds an edge just fine. The problem is it's very malleable. Bronze doesn't really do us a whole lot of good. We're just going to go back and sell our junk, and then from there, I think we actually might go to the surface. At long last. It's also rather heavy, or tin's actually rather heavy, but copper isn't. Yeah, that is true. Well, the thing about bronze is it's perfectly acceptable for using as blades, as spears, that sort of thing. You don't want it to be any kind of long blade though. It only really works as like short sword length or smaller. Okay, sell the iron and the fur. And let's see, we should have the... Oh, wait, we didn't go to the... That's okay, never mind. Can sell those arrows, we don't really need them. Can sell that short sword. You have 723 gold. Let's see, and then we go down here, and let's see if we can train yet. I can't remember if we leveled up or not. Let's see. Freya Axe, yes, leveled up. Okay, cool. Let's see. Go ahead and give Freya... Now, the nice thing about a simple warrior like Freya Axe is that you don't really need to do a whole lot. You just, like, put points into strength, dexterity, endurance, and whatever their chosen weapon is, and they're pretty much good to go. I'll go ahead and give a point of endurance, I think. And for Jormungandr, I'm going to go ahead and bump up tool use, and then I'm going to bump up bows. For Balder Axe, I'm going to go ahead and bump up priest spells, and again, potion making. For Sigrun, go ahead and bump up mage spells, and hold on to those other 2 points. And now, I think it is high time we finally go to the surface. We emerge from Fort Emergence into the outdoors. A harsh yellow light from above blinds us, and the air smells strange. For a while, the size and openness of the blue space above us is terrifying. Still, there's nothing to do but press on. Oh, whoops. There was a whole block of text there that was, that I accidentally clicked on. Alright, so let's see here. While there is great joy in leaving the caves, it's far more frightening than you thought it would be. After years of tunnels and shadows, the open sky and bright sun leave you feeling constantly blinded and exposed. A new chapter in the life of Avernum has just begun. A new land awaits us. It's time to explore. We notice some movement in the underbrush ahead. We look carefully, wondering what sort of friendly surface creature will emerge. We're disappointed to find, however, that the approaching creatures aren't animals, but blobs of brightly colored slime. The grass underneath them curls up and dissolves as they glide over it. They move quickly towards us. This is very odd. The Empire worked for years to slay all monsters on the surface, but here is a strange beast unlike any you've ever seen. It's a large slime, bubbling and magical. It leaves a trail of dead plants behind as it oozes around. Now, the slimes are not very tough, of course. And they are... in fact, very low-level creatures that even Sigrun Axe here can just smack upside the head, or the blob, I guess, and be fine. But, we find a large stone farmhouse. It was once a solid, beautiful stone structure. Now the crops are dead, the land has been spoiled by slimes, and the building looks abandoned. We're going to enter and search. We enter and look around. Many acidic slimes have been in and out of here, and with the result that everything inside is ruined, and holes have been burned in the walls and ceiling. While searching, we look out the window and find we've been surrounded. Yeah, we'll just clobber those slimes there. Slimes are very weak. We clean the slime off our blade and take one last tour around the farmhouse. Anything that might have been useful there has been dissolved or eaten. There's not even fruit in the garden. We leave the ruin behind. But hey, we got some experience points. Let's see. Quenching is the trickiest part of making a blade. Tempering is very straightforward. Let's see here. Many modern alloys actually require oil for quenching. Pretty sure most of them do, actually. Oil has been used for quenching for a very, very long time. It goes back to the Middle Ages. Let's see. We meet a militia group. They're inexperienced troops banded together to protect their home. They introduce themselves to us and say they're from the city of Krazan, not far away. If they recognize us as being Avernites, they don't comment on it, even though it must be completely obvious. Our appearance is very distinctive. Anyway, they tell you to be on lookout for slimes and move on. As the militia moves on, you notice that they give you a last long look. They've clearly never seen a Slizerikai before. Fortunately, they don't attack. You doubt that everyone on the surface will be so generous. We are at the outskirts of the city of Krazan, one of the largest cities on the continent of Valorum. Even the largest settlements in Avernum look minuscule compared to Krazan, and Krazan is far from a large city by Empire standards. As we get close, we pass travelers, farmers, and soldiers. Practically all of them notice us. Our crude clothes, thinness, and pale skin immediately mark us as different, and at least some of them must recognize us as Avernites. Yet, they don't seem interested. For whatever reason, they don't care that we're from the Empire's enemy. Perhaps people here aren't influenced by the Empire much, or perhaps they have worse things to worry about. After years in subterranean hovels, the splendor of the huge buildings and streets before us, teeming with life, makes our eyes pop. We enter the city of Krazan for the first time. After worrying about how we'd be greeted by the Empire's citizens when we actually enter one of their cities, we find that our fears were ill-founded. Nobody gives us more than a passing look as they go about their business. However, clearly not all is well, or all is not well. The people are nervous and watch the ground carefully as they walk. As we look closer, we see the city walls have been scorched and melted. A sour smell we can't identify hangs over the street. It occurs to us that these people may not care about being visited by Avernites because they have much more pressing concerns to deal with. We notice that, while the guards here aren't hostile, they're giving us lots of nasty looks. Non-humans aren't welcome here. Remember, chat, that having a Slith in the party was your decision. Heron's herring. We all look hungry. We have this look of someone who's been living on lichen for a long time. He winks. Don't worry, everyone's spreading rumors about the Avernites have been sneaking around. Nobody really cares. They're too busy worrying about the slimes. You should have go to Jinx's smithy. She's got the best weapons in town. Are we worried about the slime invasion? I'm not worried. Jinx made this for me. A slime comes in and wham! Do you know Jinx well? A fine woman running a fine smithy. And don't think I'm biased or anything just because I'm married to her. Now, let's see. Can we buy food? Let's see. Do we need food? We don't need food. We're okay. And then this is a healer. The shrine. And then shader. What's worrying us? Okay, let's see. There's the smithy. Let's go into the smithy. Let's see if we can get a proper spear for Jorben Yondrax here. Well, there's an iron spear. There's also an iron pike, which is two-handed, and so are halberds. Let's go with an iron pike. I didn't mean to get a pike, but oh well. We'll make it work. We don't have enough hands. I'm well aware of that. Alright, hang on just a second here. Don't see anything about a journal in the manual. Yeah, the journal is, I'll show it to you here in just a moment. You can't see it when it pops up, but it's this button right down here. You have the journal, and then you have read your notes. Notes are things you can take yourself, so let me just give an example here. If I'm talking to Jinx here, if I hit record, it says you add this to your notes, and then you get a note. It's not showing up on your end, unfortunately. But you get a note that says exactly what that character said, so you can just get rid of that. And then the journal is for major things, like major events, quests, things like that.
Let's see, was that everything? You know what, I'm going to go ahead and give this steel dagger to Sigrun Axe because she doesn't engage in melee combat very much. This iron shield I'm going to give to him. And then we can sell, though, the wooden shield and this iron short sword. And then we can just keep wandering around here. This is Krazan Warehouse District. Trespassers and looters will be punished with death. This is the dockyard. We can buy a boat there. This is the inn. A heavy-set woman stands in the middle of the tavern, commanding everyone's attention. She plays her guitar flawlessly. When she finishes her song, she walks up to speak with you. Her skin is incredibly pale. She's an Avernite! She bows. I'm Gypsy. What are you doing up on the surface? Oh, just touring, like you, I suppose. How'd you get here? Oh, I've already played pretty much everywhere in Avernum, so I snuck up here. Tricky, but I did it. I was in the first crew that worked on Fort Emergence. Once I got there, it was easy. How'd you manage to sneak out? Volunteered to help build, slipped out on the surface as soon as I got the chance and never looked back. And I'm not the only one. Pretty immoral of me, but, well, there you go. And then this is Dawn. Let's see. You meet a woman with a sun-weathered face, loose clothes, and a sure step. Tattoos ring her arms and wrists. She tugs her earlobe as she looks you over. I'm Dawn. Do you work here in Krazan? Normally I sail the open seas. Now I just wait around here. Krazan's my home, after all. How long have you lived here? I grew up here. No way I'm leaving without a fight. Have you fought many slimes? Some. That's the problem. It's easy to kill one slime. Just one stab's all it takes. But they keep coming and coming. And if one gets a drop on you, it'll hit you with a spell or cover you with acid or worse. This is the city hall. And if we talk to the mayor here. Welcome, outsiders, to the City Hall of Krazan. I am Mayor Arbuckle. His name is Arbuckle. How fares Krazan? It was a nightmare assignment, and the monsters have only made it worse. Why has this been a nightmare? It's the least developed town and least developed area, and a not at all developed continent of Valorum. But then the slimes appeared and started to destroy everything. How long have we had problems with these? I'll be blunt. You're adventurers from Avernum. I don't know why you're here. I don't care. We have too much else to worry about. I have a mission for you and a considerable reward. We don't know who's creating the slimes or why, and we don't know where they come from. Perhaps a small skilled band such as yours could have luck finding them. My soldiers have been no use at all, despite months of trying. So now we have one of our major quests. I say one of because there's quite a few of them. A lot of bad things are happening on the surface, as it turns out. The slimes are just one of those things. And it's up to us, the plucky band of adventurers from underground, to solve this problem. And then this guy, let's see here. What's your position? He's the Empire liaison. Why do you think we're troublemakers? If you were near the center of the Empire, this would be a serious problem, but this is the middle of nowhere and we don't care here. Just don't cause trouble. The joys of frontier regions. Alright, so we are now... Let's see. We we went to some farmhouses here, and they actually invited us in and gave us a meal. They warned us not only about the slimes, but about the brigands who somehow travel with the slimes without harm. Nobody knows where they came from, but they're convinced that the only way to survive is for humans to stick together as much as possible. We can encounter a group of tired Empire guards nervously patrolling the road for slimes. They look at us long and hard. It's clear they recognize we're Avernites. Our pale skin marks us easily. However, they also don't care. They're too tired and worried about the slimes. They nod us and silently move on. As they pass, we hear them make very rude comments. They're just loud enough for us to hear them. The surface folk have a strong dislike of non-humans. That was abandoned farmland there. A band of brigands guards this narrow bit of hills between the mountains and the shore. When they see us, they immediately move to block the path. As we get closer, we notice something very odd. The brigands have several of the brightly colored slimes writhing and sliding among their feet. However, the slimes don't attack them. In fact, the bandits and slimes seem to be guarding the path together. Well, obviously, we're going to clobber the shit out of them. Ah, yes. Polearms. Much, much better for our Slitz-Zerakai. Let's see here. Well, we'll just summon a Shade. Why the hell not? Come to loathe Chosen One stories. Yeah, they do get kind of, they do get kind of repetitive, don't they? But this isn't a Chosen One story. It's more just, you know, you just kind of happen to be in the right place at the right time for things to happen around you. Let's see. We'll just leave that stuff there. And then, same exact message as last time. We're going to attack these guys too. See, now we got Jormungandr doing some proper damage here. Now, unfortunately, the kind of area effect spells that were in the Exile games are not really present in this game. It's multi-target spells instead. Because, to put it simply, the multi-target spells are very, well, targeted, but a fireball is always to whom it may concern, and that's always more fun. Anyway, we have stumbled upon an old crumbling fortress that has a multitude of small published agates set into its outer walls. It would be quite lovely and welcoming, were it not for the skulls set on the ramparts and the tiny globs of brightly colored slime slithering everywhere. What does this sign say? Those entering unwelcome will be trapped inside and fed to the slimes. Beware, this is the domain of Bojar the Archmage. The farther we get into this small fort, the more little bits of slime we see. Suddenly, we hear a loud ringing noise. The corridors echo with shouts of alarm. We lose our hopes of a friendly greeting. Ow! That's very rude. Please stop shooting arrows at me. Now, unfortunately, Freya Axe here doesn't really have a good ranged weapon skill. However, we do have an archer with plenty of arrows. And we do also have a couple of spellcasters, which can just blast the living crap out of enemies with spells. So there's that. And we might as well use the, Oh, come on. There we go. That's more like it.
Bloop. Bloop bubble. Bloop. Bloop bloop bloop. So these purple slimes here are actually considerably more dangerous than the other ones because they can cast spells. I'm not worried about the other slimes at all. But the purple ones can actually cast spells. That can be kind of dangerous. Alright, let's see here. Give you another arrow there. And also, I had a hard time noticing that one. That's annoying. That's a lot of bandits. I don't know how you missed that, but okay. Okay, let's see here. We'll cast haste on Freyax so that we can do all kinds of wacky things. Like that. Let's see here. And we'll probably need to leave the tower and rest so we can replenish our energy, which is always the main concern here. Because it doesn't just replenish on its own while you're in a dungeon. Alright, an ash bow. That is a straight up upgrade over our cave wood bow. And we are starting to find a lot of iron arrows, which are just straight up better than the... I'll go ahead and give you a cloak there. Straight up better than the stone arrows. So we might as well just start switching over to those. And then, let's see, you can just, like, drop the stone arrows. We do not need them anymore. Let's see, give you some more of those. That should be plenty of arrows. That leads into the slime pit. Let's go ahead and save our game here and then climb down the ladder. Oh look, it's goblins! What's that? Free experience points! And a free scroll? Wow. Ah, goblins. They are so utterly pathetic. Let's see here. Later gold box games should have been developed with this perspective. Yeah, I'd actually agree with that, I think. Although, let's be fair here. I do like my blobbers, but... yeah, this perspective probably would have been good for them. Let's see. The controls for the earlier gold box games were awful. Yeah, they were. And does this series have exotic materials in it like volcanic glass? No, but it does have magical weapons and armor. And you can find artifact weapons, which are, or artifact gear, which is very, very powerful. Well, that's not good. Let's see, we need to turn on the light here. brigands and goblins have responsibly opted to store up a little extra food for hard times. In this cave, mushrooms grow in neat rows. They're carefully tended by goblin lackeys, who are now being clobbered upside the head. Free mushrooms, which I'm not going to bother with. Ow. That was rude. Have a sword to the face. And then just hit them with the ice lances. Clobber that guy, and Jormungandr actually leveled up. Awesome. I love how the archer just decided the best course of action is to run up and whack the melee weapon user. Like, that's a great idea. Just such a fantastic idea. I see no way this could ever go wrong. And that's Baldur Axe getting a level. And let's see, give you some more arrows. You've got plenty of arrows now. Just quickly go over everything here, and then I'll check the chat here in just a moment. Give you that candle. All right, let's see here. Good evening, Riddy. See, do the artifacts have minds of their own? It has been quite a while since I have found artifact equipment. There is, however, a skull that talks to you. And, it's very annoying. Let's see. Goblin Slayer, despite its faults, did a good job of making goblins threatening. Yes, it did. And might as well give you that extra arrow. There's an iron spear. You can hold on to that. In case I decide, you know what? Nah, we don't need that. We could, however, use some healing, so let's go ahead and heal up here. See if you can pick that lock. Yes, you can. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and save the game just in case that's a problem. Try to decipher it. Alright, so we found a few scraps of paper that looked like they had gibberish on them. One of the scraps of paper contains a fragment of a crude map labeled with some sort of code. It takes some work, but we're able to decode the writing. The map is of a valley in the hills east of the village of Colchis. Apparently, deep in one of the valleys, there is something marked as the Slime Pit. Very interesting. We make note of this, but I'm also going to make note of it myself, because we can do that. Oh look, an archer who decided that melee was the best option. Yeah, pro tip, if you are an archer, melee is not the best idea. What have we here? We have gloves. Sure, you can equip that. An iron helmet. Absolutely. Everything else, though, nah. See if you can pick that lock. Yes, you can. Keep out, reserve water supply. Can you pick this lock? The pick broke. Okay. We are out of lockpicks. That's a problem. We need some lockpicks. I'm gonna have to go Okay, that's kind of annoying. Ow! That stings a bit. And go ahead and finish that guy off. And let's see here. Oh, look, it's a mage. what I will do is I will haste Freya Axe. What did you hit her with? Oh, you made her afraid. That's annoying. Well, two can play at that game. And then I can fireball you and it doesn't matter. Haha. Wait, where the hell did you go? Oh, you just ran right in there. Okay, that's a bit of an issue. I guess it's a good thing that Freya Axe is very tanky. That was just rude. And that takes care of them. Okay, let's see what we got for loot here. A steel dagger. We can sell that. Iron bucklers. I think we're good on everything else there. What about in here? Iron studded armor. Nyeh. Come on. There we go. Anything good here? Not really. Okay. Oh. What about over here? Nope. Okay. The bookshelf mostly contains heavily thumbed and grimy books on adult subject matters. There are also many scrolls with orders, all assigned by someone named Bojar. All the orders involve roaming the nearby roads looking for merchants to waylay. So, in case you're wondering, there is a reason I am avoiding those tiles. Okay, we pulled the lever, we hear a series of soft clicks and a bell chiming. Something definitely happened. But the question is, what? This large cave is dominated by one feature, a huge pool of green goo. It constantly bubbles, hisses, and emits puffs of dangerous-looking gas. Every surface of the cavern is covered with a thin layer of slime. As we watch, a tiny ochre slime crawls out of the green pool. It slides around a bit and then flows back into the slime pool. The slimes must be created using these pools. Alrighty, let's see here. Just defend, and then we have these scrolls. We might as well use the scrolls and the wand. With a green spray and an intensely satisfying splattering noise, the slime pool flies apart. The bits of goo try to ooze back together again, but the heat hardened their surfaces. You hear a bizarre keening noise echoing through the tunnels. We look around and realize the sound is also coming from one of the slimes at the edge of the destroyed pool. The slimes are dying, killed in some odd way by the destruction of their creator. As they deflate, they emit a high-pitched, agonized sound, the only sound they'll ever make in their lives. Soon, however, the sound dies down. All the slimes have died. We have a hard time feeling bad about it. Alrighty. Door is locked. We have no lockpicks. We need to replace our lockpicks, which is a pain. Let's see if I can figure out how to get out of here without... Climb down the ladder. Why do I keep forgetting I have the auto map? Alright, we need to replenish our lockpicks here. I can't remember where I need to go to get them, though. Definitely not you. Definitely not you. Let's see. Okay, we bought some booze because why not? We just, you know, took care of a bunch of slimes. Let's see, we can sell some stuff here. We can sell that dagger. We can sell that helmet. Now I gotta figure out where the... It's a very well implemented auto map too. Yeah, and it's present in all of the Avernum games right from the very first one. Okay. Let's see, are you a soldier of Krazan? Can't talk long, have work to do. How goes the slime invasion? Alright, I need to figure out where I can get lockpicks. I may have to go back down to Avernum to get them. I'm not 100%. So destroying that one slime pool... destroying that one slime pool did not get rid of the slime plague. That's not good. So here's a fun one. We encounter some unicorns. The foul, dark beasts grazing the plants, pulling them up by the roots with their rotting teeth. One of them looks up, spits at us, and resumes its destructive grazing. Well, we're going to deal with this problem. Yeah, apparently unicorns in the Avernum universe are actually terrible. Let's see. So let's see. We're gonna go back down to the back down to Avernum here, and see if we can't get some lockpicks. I don't think that he sells them. No, he does not. Okay. We can, however, talk to an Axamander. We tell him what we saw on the surface. So far, it sounds much like what we expected. We're at the outskirts of the Empire, far from the center of civilization. We report to him on the slimes. This is bizarre to say the least. The Empire was determined to purge this world of all that was different or dangerous, yet it seems that dangerous creatures at the height of the Empire's power are returning. Continue to investigate. Alright. Let's see here. Do the critters follow most of the standard fantasy tropes in this series, or is there a lot of inversion like the unicorns? There's a lot of... there are a lot of creatures that are just typical fantasy type creatures. We just increased our reputation by talking to those soldiers there about the surface. Let's try going over here and seeing if we can get some lockpicks over here, because we can't unlock any doors without lockpicks. This is the portal fortress. There should be a... place I can buy and sell stuff in here, I think. Energizing chamber... What's your job? Okay, we can purchase some potion recipes. We don't need any of those right now. Undead. Yep, there's pretty standard undead there. There's, you know, skeletons, zombies, ghouls, that kind of thing. Let's see here. Okay, that's a book about dragons. That's history stuff. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out where I can buy lockpicks. I cannot remember. Okay, you're the portal overseer. What about you? Let's see here. Explore. What kind of maps have you made? Nope, can't get any lockpicks at the portal fortress. I remember there's places I can get. Okay, these guards are being really annoying and trying to be in my way. I don't think I can get any at Geekra, but I'm gonna go ahead and check anyway. Or no, wait, there's another town over here. Right, New Katra. Let's see here. Do you... You do not. Okay. Do you have something? Let's see. You sell potions. Okay. Can't do anything there. So now we have encountered a friendly Nephil. Myrrh. Let's see, what kind of things do you make here? All kinds of foodstuffs. You can purchase all of them that you want and be assured of their edibleness. Why wouldn't your food be edible? Be assured that there are none of the delicious rats and bats in the fine foods I'm making. All of those things are safe, only safe for me and my mate. Oh no. Okay. See your cows, we'll let you know. We'll know who they are. Something else we'd like to ask. Do some shopping. Nope, we don't need any of that stuff. Okay, let's see here. Nance. Don't seem very happy with your work. Cared for horses. Describe it. Okay. I'd like to help you. Let's see. Okay, there are some apartments in the southwest corner of town. In the southeast one, look in the spots inside, and you may take the crystal inside. That's nice of you. Okay. We don't have a lockpick. We cannot... And I don't think bashing the door down would be a good idea. But... Let's see here. Southwest somewhere, there's a big ice pudding that's been trying to eat people. Okay, we can take that thing out. But I still don't have... There's an odd structure there in the north of Katra. And now we have run across some serpents. That apparently scream quite loudly when they die. I wasn't aware snakes did that, but okay. I don't know why we're having such a hard time hitting those, but okay. New Cotran farmers. Let's see. I think these are wandering merchants. Yes, they are. Okay. Do you have... Yes, you have lockpicks. Yay. Let's buy a bunch of lockpicks. We now have 24 lockpicks. That should be plenty. At least for the time being. Alright. Let's go back down to that... Back down here. Yep. We find the blue crystal. We'll go ahead and take that. We get a mind crystal. So it's not identified. So mind crystals are very cool. They will teach you a skill. And it's always a skill that is under these special skills category. But it's not identified, so we do need to identify it first. Let's just let's see if we can find those cows, perchance. All right, let me just check the chat here real quick. Let's see. Reading the Eisenhorn Omnibus. Have I read any of the 40K novels? I have the Dark Angel Omnibus, but I haven't gotten around to reading it yet. That's about it. And then a pack of snakes. Must be the maze. Once encountered an entire group of remaining rattlesnakes one summer, and yeah, I can imagine you almost had a panic attack at that. That is not a good time. Go ahead and save the game here real quick. So a group of lost souls wanders aimlessly through the filthy marsh. They're slow and clumsy. But we're going to take care of them. Because we might as well. So let's see. Now we have skeletons, zombies, and ghouls to deal with. So I'm going to go ahead and just start launching arrows. I'm going to have you defend, and I'm going to give you a war blessing real quick. And a haste, just to be safe, because the ghouls are the only ones I'm actually a bit concerned about, because they have 3 attacks. On the positive side, we have Repel Spirit, which will just pretty much insta-gib any of these things. And one last enemy to repel. And what do we got here? We got a couple of javelins. Okay. Not a big deal. And then this links up with where we were before. Now this is where the ogres are. So we'll go ahead and take these guys out again, since we accidentally got rid of the save where we didn't get rid of the save, but we didn't save, I should say. Ow. That's very painful. Ow. And then you have healing potions. Just drink one. And then Wand of Firebolts, because why not? Okay, you need the healing quite badly. Oh, no. This isn't good. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought was going to happen. As soon as we got surrounded like that. Yep. Just go down fighting. Restore game, because that was kind of dumb. That's a very winnable fight for us. We did it the first time. It was actually pretty easy the first time. Alright, let's see here. Okay, that takes care of that. Ow. And now you need to heal. Tankiness is good, but it only helps so much when you're completely surrounded like this. And then give Jormungandr this, and then haste him too, because why not? And then you can just hang back and defend. Might as well use the Wand of Firebolts. It's a very low-powered spell, so... There we go. That's more like it. Alright, let's see here. Iron Greatsword. I don't think we really need a Greatsword, but we're going to go ahead and pick it up anyway. Just because we can sell them. Although that one's too heavy for you to carry. Where's the other one? There it is. Alright. We can sell those. And then we could go ahead and save the game. And now we've run into Slith Nest, which is very, very, very bad. Very, very, very bad. Yeah, that's an insta-kill and reducing 2 of my guys down to 0 hit points. So, yeah, that's not good. Yeah. Slits are, they are incredibly dangerous. We are not high enough level to beat them yet. And it's really not helping that I have to just keep healing Jormungandr Axe here because he just keeps taking damage. And now he's dead. Damn it, game. Stop it! Just stop it. Very, very rude, game. So yeah, we need to level up a bit more before we take that area on. Alright, just go through the town here. See. Well, giant lizards we can deal with. We can deal with if we can hit them. Let's put it that way. There we go. That's more like it. We found a pouch of coins and a variety of missile weapons, which we get some javelins, some arrows, and some bolts. So we got some steel bolts, some iron arrows, which we can't give to him because they're too heavy. And some steel javelins. We'll go ahead and have you equip those. Why not? Rock falls, everyone dies. Yep. Yep, we dealt with the bandit leader, which is good. So yeah, like I said before, this isn't really a an RPG in the same sense as this, like say Baldur's Gate or something like that, where the things you do, you have a wide variety of things to do in character. In this, it's more just the things you do have an effect on the world, but there's not in character choices per se. Haven't done anything. Let's see. Can you analyze this? Which is... It is a beast call. Okay. Beast call is not the best. We will sell these iron greatswords, however, and get a decent amount of gold for them. And we're not using any crossbows, so we might as well sell those crossbow bolts. We are, however, using bows. Let's go over here to the training hall and see if we can level up real quick. We can, in fact, level up. Alright. Go ahead and give you another point of endurance, another point of defense. Give you... Let's see here. Give you a point in dexterity. Give you a point in... I want to say intelligence is probably the best option, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put another point into priest spells. And then for you, now you can cast Capture Soul and Simulacrum. And we'll just hang on to that additional point there. So you don't join factions or topple local government. No, you don't. You're adventurers doing adventurer stuff. This vale is filled with shredded, rapidly crumbling unicorn horns. The rocks have bits of dark fur on them where the beasts rubbed against them. In the distance, among the rocks, you think you can see the movement of small black creatures. It's a group of unicorns. They are smelly, dirty, goat-like beasts with a single horn, which the ill-tempered creatures use to impale anyone luckless enough to stumble into them. They're nasty animals, and the local farmers will usually do anything they can to wipe them out. This pack doesn't seem interested, but we're going to take the fight to them because they're basically free experience points. They do basically no damage to us. We clobber them, and then we can get their horns, which we can then sell. And let's see here. Go ahead and light this candle. And you might as well go ahead and pick those up. Okay, if we had the Move Mountain spell, we could actually just destroy this big rock here. The unicorns have etched a crude but recognizable drawing in the wall with their horns. It's a bunch of slimes devouring a bunch of humans while a band of unicorns watch in the distance. These creatures are not nearly as mindless as people think. They are, however, still a problem, and we're still going to deal with them. There are also some healing herbs down here. The air flowing from the east is very hot and muggy. You smell sulfur. It feels like the air in Avernum, freshly heated by a geothermal vent. We're going to save because that means bad things potentially could happen. This obelisk is ancient. The worn runes carved into its surface are completely unrecognizable to us. We reach the center of the unicorn nest and find the source of the heat and sulfurous gases. The rock floor to the north is molten and glows red hot. In a cave such as this, far from any volcano, this is a very unusual feature. This cave is regarded with great reverence by the unicorns. They have etched elaborate designs on every inch of the floor. The heat is oppressive, and the smell makes you feel faint. At the north end of the pool, you think that you see movement. Yeah, that doesn't actually work on that. Safe travel is a spell that allows us to travel on the overworld without doing things. Ow, ow. With difficulty, we reach the far end of the pool of lava. As we suspected, there is indeed something interesting here. We found a bubble of lava 4 feet high at the bottom of a small fumarole. Instead of popping, as we would expect, it sits perfectly still and stable. However, it would be an easy matter to pop it with a weapon. Do we? Yes. It immediately deflates. As it shrinks, a cloud of thick black gas rises from it and floats to the southern shore of the lava pool. Once there, it solidifies. One moment, there's just a cloud of gas. The next, a large, jubilant demon. "I'm free! At last I'm free!" it howls. Then it sees you. The sight of you makes it drool with hunger. After its long imprisonment, gratitude is an idea foreign to it. Ow, 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 ow. That is a demon. Demons are incredibly nasty. We do not want to fight the demon if we can help it, but we have no choice now. By the way, those are Ursagi. Are one of our more powerful spells, just did barely anything to it. This is a TPK situation. Because the demon can just keep summoning things. So I'm just going to have my guys move through the lava here and just, you know, let them all die. So I can reload the save. Yeah, pro tip, don't go popping random lava bubbles. It's a really bad idea. So we're just going to ignore that. Oh no, it's way beyond a TPK because we're outflanked. It is TPK because demons are practically immune to damage, except from really high-level characters. You have to be at least level 25 to 30 to really deal with them, and we are level 6. Alright, just select Sigrun X. By the way, control clicking on stuff when you pull up the dialogue for picking up things is what immediately transfers it over to your inventory. Okay. Where do you think you're going? Okay, you didn't drop a horn. That's fine. This is interesting. In this corner, the unicorns have etched a variety of crude cave drawings in the stone with their horns. There's nothing too elaborate, mainly crude stick drawings of unicorns and humans and trees. However, this sign of intelligence in creatures generally regarded as mindless animal pests is rather surprising. I think we've cleared this place out pretty good. You did not drop a horn. Go ahead and... Do I have another light source? I may not. Nope, I do not. That is fine. We will cast a light spell. Now, there should be a... It's not necessarily a quest per se, but it is an ongoing thing where you can just... For every unicorn you take down, you get the... You can sell the horns for a small amount of money. Let's see here. We're at the end of a narrow pass, winding its way through the mountains. This seems like it should be a very useful shortcut, but we can find no signs of passing humanoids. Suddenly, a herd of unicorns runs through the pass. The moment they see you, they charge you. The vicious, unpleasant creatures have obviously pegged us for an easy meal. Yeah, Abyssal Knight. This is very much an old school style game, so it is not messing around when it comes to the difficulty. Like it's definitely not unmanageable or anything, but it's not pulling punches or anything either. A few less of those obnoxious beasts. And now we've managed to clear out that pass, so we can now use it as a shortcut. Also, we find signs that someone has hidden something here. We search and find a small supply cache. We get healing herbs and 37 coins. Give those to you. Small pack of unicorns. Let's take care of them because they're annoying and dangerous. Alright, we dealt with them. And there should be a local settlement or something that we can do here. Alright. We're sharing this road with a band of merchants. They're leading wooden carts pulled by strong horses. They seem very nervous, however. They try to keep their distance from you, and their guards keep their hands on their weapons. You aren't sure whether they're scared by your paleness or just generally paranoid. Alright, we're on the road leading north from the Krazan province. The air is cleaner, and the underbrush lacks the scarred, burned areas caused by the passage of the slimes. Nearby, we see a friendly inn built here to aid travelers heading to and from Krazan. That's the paranoid merchants again, being triggered because they're walking right next to us. We enter the Inn of Blades. This well-defended outpost provides a hot meal and safe bed for many of Valorum's travelers. The guards let us in, though they watch us nervously as we pass. Let's see here. Why are you here? I'm a traveler. Until recently, I lived on the Isle of Begale. Why'd you leave? The monsters became too threatening. What sort of monster plague afflicts Begale? They are beset upon by hordes of cockroaches. That sounds wonderful. Okay, and then there's the Anima Temple. They effectively rule over the island. We should have no trouble finding them. We can reach it by boat. How do we find a boat? Let's see. We can go to Farport. From there, we can take a boat to Begale. This guy is just a plain old traveler. This one's just a plain old traveler. This guy is... Are you feeling alright? Sure, I don't think a gallon of beer can't help. Stuck here for a while. Going south to find a teacher. You just came from Shader. Why are you stuck? Worst places to be stuck. Didn't really answer my question. It's more that I want to go into. Minor disagreement regarding some lumps of metal. What's so special about them? He conceals several pieces of metal nearby. He wishes it brought to him. It's not too valuable to most, but it has uses for his work. If we'll bring them to you, he'll reward us. Okay, base of a stone spire due north. Alright. So that's just a simple quest we got added to our list there. That's just a traveler, and let's see here. While we run, da, 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 da. Any goblins left? Most of them are gone, but not all. What happened to the Nephilim? Some sent to Avernum, the rest slaughtered. He thinks it was a shame. Since Empress Prazak came to power, non-humans have actually been tolerated. A real improvement. Alright, we're going to go ahead and save the game real quick. Let's see here. Just quickly check the chat here real quick. Another thing you love about this, it's not brown and gray and realistic. Yep. Yep. It is not brown and gray and realistic. It is very, very colorful. Let's approach and talk. You find out the son of one of the families was sent into Avernum some years previous for being a little funny. You can see the anger in their eyes. They ask if we ever saw him. We haven't, but they're still greatly relieved to hear that it's still there and doing all right. They're so grateful they offer to sell us some of their crops at a discount. Sure, why not? Buy some apples and a cake. Why not? Let's approach and talk to these guys. They don't mind us. Let's see here. Let's see, we're going to report on our progress. So I haven't eliminated the true source. Keep searching. Wait, do we have anything we can sell real quick? We have those unicorn horns. Let's see here. Edges of the doors have been sealed with wax. She's Cindy. Alright, looks like you're in the middle of a dangerous experiment. I suppose. What are you doing in here? What are you currently researching? Ways to defeat slimes. Made any progress? No, not yet. Absent-minded. They gave us a significant discount on them. Let's see here. I know that there is somebody who will pay for those unicorn horns. I want to say it's this guy. Yep. Every unicorn horn you bring me, I'll give you 10 gold. And we have unicorn horns to sell, so we did exactly that. Yeah, I knew there was a guy who was who would buy our unicorn horns. And now we need to figure out where that where those slimes, the true source of the slimes is. What is this? This is Delan. All right. We're just gonna keep on wandering here. There's slimes up there. What does this say? Purges is 30 miles northwest, and Delis is 30 miles southwest. Go ahead and fight these slimes real quick. And actually, I think that's a good time to call it for this particular stream after this fight here. How dare this slime run away from us? That's very rude. Why didn't it just line up to be blasted with a fireball? Alright. I think that's a good spot to call it for this particular stream. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thanks for tuning in. Any last-minute questions or anything like that people want to ask? Is going to be a streaming series. It might be. I don't know. And you're welcome. I might revisit Avernum 3 in stream. I might try something else next time. I was thinking about doing Might and Magic 3 Isles of Terra, but I realized I wasn't really comfortable enough with the mechanical system to really do that. But yeah. All right. Well, if that's it, folks, thank you all very much for tuning in. I hope you all enjoyed the stream, and I will catch you all in later videos. Should have a review coming up on Saturday. I do not have a review of Avernum, any of the Avernum games yet. I have a review of Nethergate Resurrection, but I don't have a review of any of the other Spiderweb games. I've been working on them on and off because I have to do basically 3 reviews in one with Exile, Avernum, and then the remake of Avernum up to the 3rd ones anyway. It just takes a while. But yeah, eventually I'll get a review of these up. But yeah, thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all hopefully in the next one.